Welcome to today's Explainer. We're treating this as a definitive lesson on how to build a highly profitable, totally automated YouTube media empire right from the ground up. If you've ever wondered how people are pulling in millions of views and massive revenue without ever showing their faces on camera, well, you're in the exact right place. Here's our agenda for today. We're covering the faceless model, winning niches, the 5 pillars, sourcing and AI prompts, uploading an AVD, and finally scaling real estate. Basically, it's a step-by-step masterclass to go from zero experience to owning your very own portfolio of digital real estate. All right, section 1, the faceless model, demystifying the business. Let's just dive right in and strip away this weird stigma of AI slop. We really need to understand what a legitimate, scalable media business actually looks like in action. I mean, just look at the sheer potential here. To prove this isn't some shady get-rich-quick scheme, the source material highlights that one of their most profitable channels, Binge Central, generated over $2.3 million over its lifetime. It pulled in more than 500 million long-form views. That is absolute proof that this is a highly lucrative digital asset when you do it right. Think about it like this. Jeff Bezos doesn't physically pack boxes in an Amazon warehouse every single day, right? Well, you don't need to be on camera to run a wildly successful channel. In this model, you're the architect. By utilizing voiceovers, clever video editing, and curated internet clips, you're building a compelling storytelling machine that literally does not rely on your physical presence at all. Moving right along to section 2, winning in niches, where to play and win. Now that we know what the model actually is, we need to find that perfect little corner of the internet for your channel to completely dominate. Because honestly, if you target the wrong audience, the rest of this just falls flat. So you've really got to hit the sweet spot of this 3-part Venn diagram. First, you want topics that pay well, high RPM. Second, topics with massive viewer demand. But most importantly, that third point, you need to pick topics that you genuinely enjoy watching. You're going to be in the trenches watching hours of this material at first, and honestly, enjoying it is what fuels your ability to make much better videos. This brings us to an absolute golden rule from the source material. Listen, you never have to reinvent the wheel. Just find the 10 biggest competitors in your niche and ethically reverse engineer their viral concepts to make them, slightly punchier and better. Remember, Pepsi didn't invent cola. They literally just copied Coke and tweaked the formula. And now they pull in $80 billion a year. You can do the exact same thing with your video ideas. Okay, section 3, the 5 pillars, building the foundation of every video. Once you've got your niche and those first few video ideas mapped out, it's time to master the 5 non-negotiable structural elements of every single successful upload. Every single video needs this exact foundation: content, script, voiceover, editing, and thumbnail. But I want you to pay special attention to number 5. If your thumbnail packaging is weak, nobody clicks. And if nobody clicks, the other 4 pillars don't even matter. Without that initial click, your absolute masterpiece remains completely invisible to the world. Next up, section 4, sourcing and AI prompts, the computer workflow. Let's transition over to the actual production side and look at the tangible steps you'll take when you sit down to do the work. When you sit down to use your computer, your workflow needs to become highly structured. First, you'll basically Frankenstein the footage by reverse searching to find the raw, original clips behind your competitors' viral videos. Then, you'll use an AI prompt to rewrite and radically improve their scripts. Once the hook is perfect, you record or generate a really crisp voiceover. And finally, edit the whole thing together in Adobe Premiere Pro. And when you're actually in there cutting the video, this is the golden rule you should basically tattoo on your forehead. Show, don't tell. You really have to use dynamic graphics in your edits. Seriously, treat your audience like they need every single thing spoon-fed to them visually. What this means is that to keep audience retention sky high, you must visually validate every single word the voiceover says so the viewer never has a chance to get bored. If you say MMA fighter, don't just put up some text. Show a UFC ring. And a quick pro tip, keep your visual transitions moving from left to right. It matches how we read and constantly pushes that psychological story forward. All right, section 5, uploading and AVD, the holy grail metric. Your edit is finally finished, so let's get this project uploaded and look at the actual hard data that drives the algorithm. Once your video is live, this specific number is everything. Click-through rates, yeah, they're going to fluctuate wildly depending on how broad your audience gets, but if you can maintain an average view duration, your AVD, of 45% or higher, you are practically guaranteed a viral explosion. It basically means almost half your audience is staying hooked through the entire journey. That is huge. Now, as that ad revenue finally starts rolling in, you're going to hit a major turning point. You'll naturally transition away from being a solopreneur who does every tedious manual task yourself, and you'll step into the true entrepreneur role. You do this by outsourcing tasks to specialized freelancers, buying your time back so you can manage a real team of writers and editors. Which brings us perfectly to Section 6, Scaling Real Estate, Building the Media Empire. This is definitely the most exciting phase of our explainer today, fully automating your workflow. Let's look at the timeline. Over your first month, you're doing it manually. By month 6, you're hitting monetization and consistent revenue. But by year 1, that's when you hire a channel manager to handle daily operations. The moment you do that, your channel transforms into an automated piece of digital real estate that just pays you passive rent. And boom, you're free to launch your next channel and build a true portfolio over the next 2 years. The exact blueprint is right here in front of you. Yes, it's a volume game, and it takes real patience and a willingness to improve every single week. So I'll leave you with this. Will you work a 9 to 5 forever? Or are you willing to put in the consistent, emotionless work required to claim your very own piece of digital real estate?